Hello, all benders and non-benders, and welcome back to Avatar Generations. And today we're going to be doing kind of an updated account overview of just what my account is looking like at the moment. And then I'm going to give some thoughts, some positive feedback, and a little bit of constructive criticism on some of the newest features in the game, how I feel like the game is doing, and all of that. So if you want to hear some of my opinions on basically the state of the game pre-Azula, then stick around to kind of the back half of the video. And yes, Azula's still not here. They did say that they needed a little bit more time on the update, so I am expecting that to be next week. So we're let's be real here. We're just stalling for time here for Azula because that's really what we want. Now, the account here. I have so far managed to get most characters. However, the meta characters, specifically Ronin Zuko and the Warden, I have not maxed out. I have skill coins. I could give them some juice, but I just don't want to, especially with Azula on the horizon. I just don't want to. So I've got Zuko here at level 2.
Treat me with
I've got the Warden here at level 2. And then my poor Iroh is sitting at level 40, skill level 2. It's like, I could power him up. I very much could. But I just don't want to because I know Ty Lee's going to be a peace character and I want to save the resources for her. I don't want to. I just don't, even if it's making me a bit of a target in Arena. Fortunately, I do have Moonslayer Zhao over here at skill level 6. He's pretty much the only reason I am hanging on in Arena at all, and even then, questionable. So he's really putting in the good work there. I wish I could use my Kyoshi because she is by far my strongest character by like a nice margin. But her meta viability fell off a cliff, man. She can't do a thing in the current meta. So that's sad. That's very sad. Now, a surprising one that actually can kind of work is Zhong Zhong. I've noticed some very good use in the current meta out of Zhong Zhong as well as Kiwok. My Kiwok isn't really built up because unfortunately, back when Kiwok came out, I hadn't clued into the fact that it's just a good idea to get all of the powerful opponents and just max them out as is, if possible. So she actually holds up very well with the current kind of exile slash firebender meta. She mixes in very well with that. I should build up Prisoner Tyro, but he's another situation of where I just really don't want to. It's like, I don't actually enjoy the current meta, which is just, I mean, that's just kind of what happens. It ebbs and flows. And I'm holding on for Azula. So that's kind of where we're at with some of the current meta characters. I did finally get the masteries up on Warden and Zuko because I had been really stalling that out, just farming the event quest completely, which I will talk about later in the video. Now, as far as relics go, I have my maxed out Warden's Tower here, which I am exceptionally proud of. A lot of the event relics are not really getting a lot of use here. Then again, this one, like this Dangerous Game Apple relic here, is only a 4-star, so that's to be expected that it's going to lose when, in comparison to a 5-star. But they're not getting a whole lot of use in the fight here, especially compared to a lot of 5-star relics, with the exception of the ever fantastic Beach Umbrella. Everybody loves the Beach Umbrella. The Beach Umbrella is fantastic. Did not do any summoning on the last relic banner, so that one is just kind of something I skipped because I just didn't feel the need. Do have the maxed out Journey for Purpose from the event. This relic was great. I do wonder if it's ever going to rerun, because I pity the people who did not get this relic. I truly do, because it's just a straight stat boost for exile characters, and the fantastic 4-star Fire Nation Zuko, who is completely free to play, is an exile character, so this would be a fantastic relic for him. And just, if you miss out on this, I am truly sorry. I don't know if it's ever going to come back. And to be real here, FOMO is kind of the name of the game when it comes to these mobile games. They want to get you with that fear of missing out so that you'll play the game. That's kind of the point. But I do truly pity anybody who missed out on this Journey for Purpose relic, because it's a good relic. It's a really good relic. And I would also just call into question what defines a relic, because this is literally a building, and this is just a feeling, question mark? Feelings can be relics, I guess, but you know what, that's fine. It's all semantics. It's just relic is the term they grant to that particular thing. Haven't really gotten much by way of like 5-star supports. 4-star supports are doing pretty good. But the 5-star supports are few and far between. I think my best ones are the Goat Gorilla, the Wolf Spirit, and I believe the Badger Mole, wherever he might be. Yeah, I've got them all being at a tier 3, basically. It would require 3 more to fully max them out, but that's kind of something that will hopefully happen over time. So that is kind of what my account is looking like here. Now we're going to talk about the game itself, what I like, what I maybe don't like, and that sort of stuff. First of all, I do want to talk about the guilds. There's not a whole lot to talk about, actually, because this is very much in its infancy, but I think this could be a really cool feature if they do it right. Guilds are often a highlight of mobile games, being able to get together with the community and work together to take down bosses. I talk about this a lot my Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes days, but some of the best fun of the game was strategizing on the best teams to take down raid bosses, maybe even finding a cheese every now and then, which was always a good time if you could find that. And especially seeing if you could solo the boss, that was always a good time. But that's some of the best community engagement features, are the guild bosses, guild events, that sort of stuff. So while I can't really say much about it right now because it is very much in its infancy, I have high hopes. Another thing that I have majorly enjoyed are the addition of the summon coins, the little items you can get whenever you pull a 5-star character, and even sometimes just randomly, because it does have that 1% chance. I love that feature. It's not technically like pity selection, but then again, it kind of is, because it gives you the option, if you do get enough of them, it gives you the option to either get the character or get the relics, which is pretty good, because basically it kind of allows you to set your luck where, let's say you do get lucky, you get a bunch of 5-star characters, you get those coins, you can get the relics if you want. That's kind of what I did with Yue, maxing out her relic. I used the coins to do that. So I have been very much liking this feature. I think this is a very good feature, especially with the Super Flameo Bros powerful banner. It worked really well on that one because you got a guaranteed coin every 10. So very much big pluses on that. Next thing I did enjoy, of course it's gone now, but I did very much enjoy the previously mentioned event quests. They kind of gave a little story snippet from book 2 and had some really nice rewards for that. The Exile Relic especially was fantastic, and of course it had tickets, had other items, really great stuff. But I'm going to use that to kind of pivot into things that I'm going to criticize just a little bit. Now, I am going to say, I love the game, I think it's a lot of fun, but there are some problems. First of all, the event quest grind was way too long. I get it, you want to make it so that your relics are not easy to get. I mean, a free-to-play 5-star relic is nothing to sneeze at. But I grinded that bad boy for I think 2 weeks plus to finally get the relic plus the tickets. I didn't even bother for the Sugi horn. I didn't even bother with that. I just got maxed out relic and tickets. And I get it. That's a powerful relic. You wanted it to be premium. I can't really say anything against that, logistically speaking. But boy, that took a while. That took a while of devoting every scrap of energy I had to just getting that thing powered up. Ugh. That was rough. That was really rough. So maybe in the future, either offer more currency or make the energy cheaper or make the relic itself cheaper, the rewards in the shop cheaper, because whew, that took a minute. That took a rough minute. Next, I want to talk about Arena. Now, like I said, I have not powered up Ronin Zuko, I have not powered up the Warden, so I have already shot myself in the foot here. However, am I the only one who thinks that this meta has been rough? This one has been hard to play. And very hard to get motivated to play. Just to give some context here, you'll notice I'm at rank 41. Now that's not terribly high, but it's not terrible either. And I'm at Grandmaster 1. Logistically speaking, if we're just going by rank requirements, I should be in Legends 3. Because you have to be in at least rank 50 to be in Legends 3. What that tells me is that either there's not enough players in the server, or everybody is having just about as much trouble as I am trying to get up. And I'm not even doing that bad. I've got the 90%, which is alright. And even a 21% defense rate, which is not amazing, but it hurts. Losing the defense, it hurts a lot. And this is the most random bullcrap meta I have ever seen. Sometimes Zuko and Zhao will do nothing, and sometimes they will do circles around you. It's insane. Now, like I said, to be fair, my Zuko and Warden are not powered up. So I gotta temper my criticism a little bit, knowing that I am not the top dog here. But like I said, rank 41, and I'm still only in Grandmaster 1, which means everybody else under me is still in Grandmaster 1 at best. It just strikes me as a little bit odd. I don't know, and I do think that at the end of each week, I think it is a little bit punishing how far it takes you back in your rankings. I don't know, that's an opinion on my part. But I think if you ask most people what the most frustrating thing in the game right now is, they would probably say Arena, and for good reason. Now that said, the loot is pretty dang good. They did make the skill token cheaper here. They brought it down from 3,000 to 1,500, which is pretty awesome. You can even get the legendary arts orbs if you wanted, which I did get those as kind of a one-time thing because I wanted a feather, and I actually did get a feather, so that was kind of nice. So the rewards are good. It's just playing it is really, really frustrating, especially when your attack feed looks like this. I mean, look, Iroh, Zuko, Iroh, Zuko, Iroh, Zuko, Iroh, Zuko, Iroh, Zuko. That gets boring in a hurry. That gets boring in a real hurry. So they had even stated that their goal with Arena was to make it diverse, to promote other strategies. And I guess you could technically say that because, I mean, you've got Tyro and Katara in this team, you've got Warden and Zhao in this team, you've got Joro and Kiwak on this team, so technically, but to have the same core being the absolutely devastating Iroh and Zuko, yeah, that gets stale. And that leads me into my final point, and a point that I think other people have brought up before, is that why does it feel like every single character is the new meta every time they came out? If you had told me that the Warden, who wasn't just in one episode, but basically the back half of one episode, if you had told me that the Warden was going to be a meta character, I would have found that hilarious. Shoot, you could have made the Warden a 4-star character, and I wouldn't have even questioned it. But no, he is the current spearhead of Fire Nation teams. That's odd. That's really, really odd. I mean, Haru makes sense as a 5 star, being kind of more of a main character. He doesn't appear terribly often in the show, but he does have a presence, so it makes a little bit more sense. But the Warden? Really? That guy? I don't know. That was weird to me. And then, of course, Iroh and Zuko. I mean, do I even need to say anything about them? They are beyond busted. And that's kind of my thing here is all of the characters that have been coming out lately are beyond busted until the next character comes out and immediately power creeps them. Joro and Goro were fantastic, especially when the Warden came out, and then Iroh and Zuko dethroned them. Before Goro and Joro, we had Haru, and he was absolutely devastating, also a little bugged. But he was just a powerhouse, and now he was displaced. There's power creep, and then there's a power sprint. It feels like we're in a power sprint, and that's probably not going to go away when Azula, Ty Lee, and Mei come out. But at least for Azula, Ty, and Mei Lee, it makes sense for them to be the meta. Because, they're some of the best, they're the best villain team, like, in animation cartoon history. Of course they should be meta. I think they should be meta for a nice long time. But the Warden? Really? So that's just kind of my critique there, is that all of the characters are way too power creepy over the last. Now, to be fair, I'm gonna immediately switch teams here and be devil's advocate. I have heard it said that the community and the public can do more testing of a character in 5 minutes than a development team can do in the entire time it takes to develop features. There's only so much they can do, and I get that. You make a character with the best of intentions, and turns out they run wild. I think a perfect example of that would be the Warden's Tower on Bo Quinn. They clearly did not intend that, because it immediately went nuts. It went absolutely wild. So there's only so much they can do. And the game, to be fair, is not actually that old. We're only in the 1-year anniversary of the beta. Not even the 1-year anniversary of the global release, of just the limited beta. So this is very much still in its infancy. So, I'm willing to cut some slack on that with the anticipation that they're going to figure it out, get better at making sure the characters are balanced, that the power creep, which is a necessary part of the game, but is more on, a creep, a slight incline up, as opposed to, a jagged power spike. That's kind of what I feel about that. Now, like I said, Azula, you can power spike her a little bit. That's fine. I mean, it's literally Team Azula. They can be powerful. I'll allow that one. I will allow that one. But that's kind of what I am feeling there as far as the game goes. Like I said, I'm still having a ton of fun with it. I'm still having a lot of fun with the game. Arena is definitely odd at the moment, and it doesn't do them any favors that they did delay Azula a week, meaning we get to endure yet another week of freaking Zuko and Iroh. But that's fine. This too shall pass. And now something else I was thinking that might help. Right now, Arena is by far the only endgame content in the game. I mean, PvE is not actually that difficult. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast. PvP is going to be the dominator. So I think that's why a lot of characters are the way they are, is that they're made to survive in PvP. When raid bosses come out, that's going to inject, I believe, some much needed variety into the game, where they can start crafting characters with raid bosses in mind, with that kind of content, so that characters can be released with more of a PvE focus. And I also kind of hope that maybe they take away the arena requirement for masteries, maybe make that either arena or raid boss participation, something along those lines, because that can be really frustrating. But that's kind of what I'm expecting here, is that once raid bosses come out, they'll be able to diversify the types of characters they are making, because there will be more types of modes in the game. But let me know down in the comments below how you think of the game, what opinions that you have of the things I've said. Maybe you have your own opinions on a factor of the game that I have completely missed. Let me know down in the comments below, and we shall see you next time. Have a good one.